Hello, everyone. I'm Chloé Canella. I'm Digital Marketing Manager here at Intuiface, and I'll be presenting this Let Us Help You session. This session has the objective of going through all of the online resources and material you'll be able to find on our website. You may think that you know everything about Intuiface, but there's always something you don't, and I'm sure you'll be able to find out some interesting new stuff. Stay tuned and we'll go through it all. I'm going to start this session by showing you this interesting web page. It's called the Resource Center. It's a sort of hub where we point to all of our useful online resources. You can access it directly from the intuiface.com header, like so. So in this web page, we have all of these entries. They are divided into 3 categories: learning material, get help material, and stay informed material. Let's start with the learning material first. First one on the list is Intuiface Academy. So what is Intuiface Academy? It's an extensive library of video lessons that will help you master the Intuiface tools. You may have recognized me at the beginning of the session because I'm actually the voiceover of some of these video courses that are present on Academy. So if ever you recognize me, that's why. The Academy is great for beginners to help get started with Intuiface, but it's also great for advanced users who want to really master Intuiface. Currently, in Academy, we have 8 different courses going from Intuiface Composer 101, which is a course that will help you get familiar with the Intuiface Composer, to other courses like managing content with the headless CMS or connecting to the world, that are courses that take a pretty deep dive in specific features of Intuiface. So Intuiface Academy is really the place where you can learn at your own rhythm. You just watch a video, come back the next day, etc. Each course is comprised of a series of rather short videos, most of the time less than 5 minutes. So let's just get into a course. Let's pick managing content with the headless CMS. This is our most recent course, as it's a fairly new feature. You'll see that there are 6 chapters to this course, and if you click to enroll in a course, you'll be directed to the Academy player, where you'll be able to watch the short video lessons. Once you've finished watching your first video, click complete and continue, and we'll show you the next video, etc., until you've reached the end of the course. Some courses have short quizzes you can take to see if you've understood everything correctly, or just so you can evaluate your knowledge of the topic. Okay, that's about it for Intuiface Academy. Let's move on. Next in the learning material list, the Intuiface Help Center. This is the place where all of the Intuiface knowledge material is stored. We have more than 400 articles covering everything from getting started to Intuiface licensing documentation, or even tips and tricks. Pretty much everything about Intuiface is documented there. If you have a question or if you need to figure out how to do something specific, this is really the place to go. Just type in the search bar and you'll almost certainly get an answer, a beginning of an answer at least. Next in the resources list, there are webinars. Jeff hosts every 2 weeks a live intro to Intuiface webinar. This one's really destined at beginners. If you're more into learning with someone that will guide you through the different features and you need to ask questions, there's a live Q&A, etc., webinars are a good place to go. There are also pre-recorded webinars of all the previous webinars that we've hosted in the past. For example, there's a specific webinar around analytics, which is a feature deep dive webinar. We also have the best practices and guidance topics or ecosystem partner webinars. For example, we have a full webinar that is dedicated to Intuiface for the Samsung kiosk. So if ever you're interested in that topic, just go watch the webinar. It's fairly interesting. There's also a webinar dedicated to connecting experience to external data, that kind of thing. So there's a whole list of webinars you can always look at. You just click on the link, and you'll have the recording. There's no sign up necessary, just the recordings directly on the web page. Next learning material is Intuiface. So that's a pretty funky name. What's Intuiface? If you're not familiar with it. So Intuiface is a virtual interactivity showroom where you can browse across different verticals. There's a city map with different verticals, museums, etc. And you can educate yourself about certain usages. For example, let's say you're interested in the museum industry. You can see in the Intuiface Museum space. So now you're in the museum itself, and you can see different usages in that industry. For example, there's a presence detection, usage, or a lift and learn one. Let's pick that one. Once you've selected as usage, you'll be able to read through all the details. What's the business value? What the key features are? What are the key features used in that particular scenario? We display associated samples if there are samples available for you to download, and eventually videos of that usage in action. So Intriville is really a place for inspiration. It's what you can build with Intuiface in a particular industry, and just look for inspiration there. Next in the list is the marketplace. This one can be both accessible on the web or directly in Intuiface Composer itself. There's a tab where you can download sample experiences and just have them directly in Intuiface Composer. So these samples are pre-designed Intuiface experiences that you can use to learn, to see how they're built, how it works, how they are configured, etc. Or you can just use for your own project, make them your own, redesign them, whatever. You're free to do whatever with them. There's something like 60 different sample experiences that you can download and just use for your own usage. Next in the list is reference designs. This is somewhat close to what the marketplace is, but we go a little deeper. I'll explain. So reference design, we consider it to be ready-to-use frameworks. So they're comprised of a ready-to-use sample experiences, so the ones that you could find in the marketplace, for example. But on top of that, we also provide a process workflow supporting video, where we explain really how it's built and how you can use it yourself, and really detailed guidance for each reference design. For example, let's take a look at this one, mobile-driven data entry reference design. So you see on its dedicated webpage that we've detailed everything you need to really understand and adapt to your own case. This one even has an in-depth review video, so it's a 1-hour video where Seb explains really everything about that reference design. It goes pretty deep in the explanation. So that was all for the learning resources. Now we can jump to the next category, is the Get Help resources. So if all of the learning resources that we've showcased weren't good enough for you and you really need to talk to someone, there are different options. First, you can always contact support. The support team is great and has been praised by a lot of customers. So if you're stuck on something, you can always create a support case and someone from our team will get back to you. Then there's the Intuiface community. So this is an online forum of Intuiface users. There are some pretty passionate people in the community. I'm sure a lot of these very active community users are listening. So hello, you'll recognize yourselves. It's a very helpful and friendly community. So go over there, start a conversation. You'll find interesting stuff in there. You can share your project if you want to, or ask questions, ask for tips, that kind of stuff. Good community. If all of that wasn't enough, you really feel like you need some training for you or your team, we do offer a selection of services of different kind. For example, you could have a one-on-one consultation with a product expert. It's available in our blogs at a predefined rate. Uh, sorry, there's also a Bootstrap My Project service where we help you kickstart your project and we help you build your Intuiface experiences from scratch. There's also a special analytics services to help you set up Intuiface analytics, for example, if that's something you're interested in. So if ever you want more information or you're interested in one of those services, just get in touch with your account manager and they'll follow up. They'll follow up with your request. Last but not least, you can also get in touch with an Intuiface partner if you would like to work with an expert on a project, for example. I'll let Régis present the partner program later on, so we're not going to go into that, but there's also Intuiface partners that you could always get in touch with if you need help with a project. Last section of the online resources available, how to stay up to date, how to stay informed. The first source of information is our newsletter. This is really how we share news, announce product features, everything. Uh, every information we send out goes through our newsletter. You should all be receiving our newsletter, but if you're not, in case you've opted out or if you're just not receiving them for some reason, you can always opt in again. You can always opt in again from this this webpage. Just fill out the short form. You'll be added back to the recipient list, and you'll receive news. But in any case, if you've missed a newsletter or for some reason, we publish all our newsletters online on the website as well. So you can always read the news directly on the website. These are all the listings of the previous newsletters we sent out. You can also have news from us from classic sources of information, of course, like we have a blog, we have a press release section where we present all the press releases we sent out. We have a release history section where where we detail all of the product releases that went out, and we give details on what exactly has been released in new features, that kind of thing. You can of course follow us on social media, any classic source of information. We should have it. Last but not least, I wanted to share this webpage. It's a publications webpage where we present all of our publications that went out in the past. So at the top, we have some featured webinars we showcase, but we also list our white papers here and ebooks as well. So you can download these for free. Our most recent piece is this ebook about what the no-code movement has missed, why in-venue applications is not part of that no-code movement, and why we think it's wrong. So you can get that ebook there. There's no sign-up necessary. Just go to that webpage, click the button, you'll get the PDF. We don't ask for sign-up. So go read that piece of information. It's a very good one. And also other white papers and guest posts that we've published, that kind of thing. So there's also things around that here. That's all for this session. I hope you found it instructive. Again, the starting point for all the resources we looked at today is this webpage. It's on intuiface.com/resources. I hope you find this interesting, and I'll talk to you for a Q&A. Jeff, back to you. Thank you.